You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and it is time to talk about a potential blockbuster trade. Brian Windhorst of ESPN said this: the whole league is obviously watching what happens with Giannis. Certainly, the Knicks are one of them. He didn't mention any other team. And we told you guys last offseason, the Knicks were watching. And once again, Brian Windhorst, one of the most connected NBA people, says the Knicks are watching the Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas. You want to win an NBA title? You got to have a top 30 player ever. Go all the way back to the 2004 Pistons. Much as I love Brunson, that's going to be really tough for him to be there. But if he gets a sidekick partner like Giannis, they could be the best duo in modern NBA history. Before we dive into this, and I tell you why the Knicks should do whatever it takes, I got a trade idea for you on Giannis I know you guys are not going to like. The question is this: should the Knicks go all in for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Can't wait to read the comments. Yes, you go all in for Giannis. Are we crazy? We don't want to go all in for Giannis. Is that what we're telling me now? First, we didn't want to sign LeBron James for the veteran minimum. Second, we didn't want to give up anything for Kevin Durant. And now we don't want a 29-year-old Giannis who just finished fourth in MVP, and he's going to go down as one of the top 30 players of all time. You're telling me we don't want to do that? The guy that at 29 years old averaged 30 points, 11.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists on 61% from the field this year. We don't want that guy. Is that what we're telling me? You do whatever it takes to make a Giannis trade. You do whatever it takes. You guys always tell me, Marshall, we can't trade the farm. Your farm begins and ends with Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby. That's it. That is it. Everybody else is on the table for Giannis. Have you ever seen a graphic like this on screen where the stats were this high? 30 points, 30 points, 30 points, 28 points, 11 boards, 11 boards, 11 boards, 11 boards, 6 assists, 5 assists, 6 assists, 6 assists. Guy's special. And he's also really good in the playoffs. Already an NBA champion. Scored 50 points in a game 6 in the NBA Finals, averaging 26.6 points per game, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 1.3 steals, and 52.7% from the field in the playoffs. And we've already seen him be the best player on the planet on the biggest stage. The dude in the finals averaged 35, 13, 5, 2 blocks, and 62% from the field, and closed them out with 50 points. I know people are going to be like, Marshall, and I already see a comment in the chat, you're going to have to gut the team to get him. I don't know if I want to do that again. One, the Knicks didn't gut the team for Carmelo Anthony. They did not. I will never agree with anybody that says that. They traded Wilson Chandler, Timofey Mozgov, Danilo Gallinari, and Raymond Felton. You did not gut the team. You didn't have a team. Gutting the team would have mean you traded Amari Stoudemire. Different convo, different day. But what I'm saying applies to this. You can't overpay for Giannis. No one will ever make a trade for Giannis, and it's like, whoa, you gave up way too much for the second best player in the world. That will never be said. You'll never be said. And if there is any team in the league that is equipped to overpay for Giannis, you're going to have to give up a lot of these picks. You got 2 in 2024, 4 in 2025, 8 tradable first-round picks, and 11 first-rounders in the next 7 years. You can afford to overpay on the draft picks if you even want to call it that. Your 2025 draft capital looks as so. You own Milwaukee's pick, it's top 4 protected. You own Detroit's pick, which is top 13 protected. Washington's top 10 pick, and then your own first-round pick. A lot of people have said, Marshall, you've brought up trading Randle a couple of times, and I have. And I've said I would trade him for Mikal Bridges. I said I would trade him for Kevin Durant. Giannis joins that list. Giannis is one of the few players I trade Julius Randle for. He is, because simply he is better. And I hope I have made myself clear this offseason that the only way I trade Julius Randle is if I'm getting a better player, I'm getting a player that's just as good, or I am getting a player that fits this team better. Because I hope through 2 seasons of watching this show, the people that do watch this show have learned sometimes fit is more important than talent. And I'm doing that deal every day of the week. And I love Julius Randle. But I'm moving him in a heartbeat for Giannis. Coming up next, I got a trade idea for you that involves Julius Randle going to the Bucks with the Knicks getting Giannis. I want to get your take on it, so stick around. But before we do, check out our proud sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS, and PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you simply choose more or less on their projected stat line. The NBA Finals are around the corner, and you should be playing during the NBA Finals. You could turn $10 into $100. Play PrizePicks. It's fun. It's exciting. It's easy. And you can win big money, and you can withdraw your winnings whenever you want. NFL, NBA, college football, college basketball, MLB, NASCAR, so much more. Check out PrizePicks, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. I know I said in the beginning of the video, you cannot overpay for Giannis. But I know how you guys are going to say, we overpaid. So I'm just going to let you know, for your standards, the Knicks will have to overpay for Giannis. That's what you have to do when you are trying to trade for the second best player, arguably, in the world. The only negative thing to what I think Brian Windhorst said is, I'm not so sure the Bucks will trade him this offseason. The Bucks lose in the first round again next year, and that's 3 years in a row. If they lose in the first round, they're done. Because Dame, Portis, Lopez, and Middleton, Father Time is tugging on the back of their shirt. They know they had this year, and they've got next year. But maybe they're a forward-thinking organization, and they say, why don't we just max out on the value now and start the rebuild and tearing it up and building it back up now? They could, but they also could say, we've gone this far, we're that close, let's give it one more run. I think next year is more likely. But let's talk as if what Brian Windhorst said is true. Teams are monitoring it because it might just happen. All right, now you guys hate me, right? You hate me because I'm willing to trade Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, and 7 first-round picks for Giannis? Do you hate me? Randle, Robinson, Deuce, 4 unprotected, all that you can offer, and 3 protected. So 7 first-round picks, Robinson, Deuce, and Randle for Giannis. I don't even think that's enough. I don't even think that's enough. But let's say it is. Let's say it is. Let's say that's the deal that Milwaukee says we will do. And this is your starting lineup. Brunson, DiVincenzo, or Hart, one of them come off the bench with OG, Giannis, and Hartenstein. Brunson, if your top 6 is Brunson, Dante, Hart, OG, Giannis, and Hartenstein, you're not winning the championship. You're not. You might just be a dynasty. You might win multiple championships. That roster I just showed you, this is a ship contender for 5+ seasons. That is a championship contender and most likely the championship favorite for the next 5 seasons. You would have one of the best scoring guards in the league. You would have maybe the best big man in the league in Giannis at the power forward position. One of the best one of the best defensive centers in Hartenstein. One of the best wing defenders in OG, and 2 of the better role players in the league in Hart and DiVincenzo. But you might say, Marshall, who else do we got? Don't worry, I'll tell you in a second. Would you do the deal? Would you do the deal? Quentin Gilliam says, hell nah. Told you. A for accept, D for decline. Randle, Robinson, Deuce, 4 unprotected first, 3 protected first. That's why you got all these first-round picks, to do the deal. You got to pay to play. This one might be high to play, but so will that banner that they're going to raise in Madison Square Garden. It's accept, and it's not even close. If I could give more first-round picks, I would. I've got 8 tradable. Knicks could trade 8. You want 8? I'll give you 8. I would. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo with Brunson, and OG, and Hart, and Hartenstein, and Dante. Yes, you do that. Are you kidding me? We're saying no to that. So we don't want to trade for Giannis. We don't want LeBron James for free, and we don't want KD. Do we want to win? Do we want to win? Do we want to compete? And I'll say it. It would suck to see Julius and Mitch and Deuce go. It absolutely would. It absolutely would. And you might say, Marshall, if the Bucks are trading Giannis, why would they want Randle? It could be a very similar situation as to what we saw with Drew Holiday going to the Portland Trail Blazers last year, even though they didn't want him, and then they rerouted him to the Boston Celtics, and they got picks and players back. The Bucks could do that with Julius Randle if they want to. You might say, well, Marshall, how are we going to fill out our bench? We're going to fill out our bench, Marshall. Remember the Miami Heat when they signed LeBron and D. Wade and Chris Bosh? The ring-hunting veterans, they'll come play for you. You already have an elite top 6. We know Tibbs only goes 8 deep. You only need 2 or 3 more vets. Yes, you do this deal. Ring-hunting vets will come play for you. And remember, I said 7 first-round picks. 7 first-round picks. You have 11 in the next 7 years. That means you'd still have 4 more. You'd still have 4 more. Yes, you do the trade. And once they say accept, you hang up and you pop champagne because you just paired Jalen Brunson with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'll make this 8 first-round picks. You still got 3 in your back pocket over the next 7 years and a boatload of second-round picks. Yes, you do it. If you said no, put it down. Just put it down. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. You do the deal and you celebrate once you get it done and you get ready to start a dynasty as the New York Knicks.